According to the National Electrical Code, when connecting a generator to a home, all branch circuits fed by the generator must be completely disconnected from the home service. This requirement means that both the neutral and the current carrying conductors must be disconnected to ensure safety and prevent backfeeding. In the described situation, where a 5,500 watt generator is intended to be connected to a manufactured home service panel through an outbuilding with a 100 amp distribution panel following the NEC guidelines is crucial. The proposed method involves connecting the generator's 120/240 volt 30 amp supply to a vacant 30 amp 2-pole breaker in the outbuilding, effectively backfeeding power to the house service panel. While it is intended to turn off the main disconnect during a power outage, using only the main breaker to isolate the utility company's service from the generator service would not meet NEC requirements. The NEC mandates a complete disconnection of branch circuits fed by the generator from the home service. Relying solely on the main breaker does not achieve this complete isolation. If the utility company's power were to be restored while the generator is still running, it could create a hazardous situation, potentially damaging equipment and endangering personnel. To properly connect the generator to the home in accordance with the NEC, firstly, turn off the main disconnect for the home's electrical service. Secondly, disconnect the neutral and current carrying conductors from the utility company's service. Thirdly, connect the generator's 120/240 volt 30 amp supply to the vacant 30 amp 2-pole breaker in the outbuilding. Fourthly, turn on the main breaker for the generator. Fifthly, turn on the breakers for the circuits that are intended to be powered by the generator. These steps ensure that the generator's power is isolated from the utility grid and that no backfeeding occurs. It is essential to follow the manufacturer's instructions when connecting a generator to a home, as these instructions provide specific guidance on safe and proper operation. Ignoring these instructions can lead to dangerous conditions and potential damage to equipment. The NEC guidelines are in place to protect individuals and property from electrical hazards associated with generator use. The complete disconnection of neutral and current carrying conductors is a critical safety measure that should not be overlooked. Understanding the NEC requirements and following them diligently is essential for safely and effectively using a generator to power a home during a power outage. Furthermore, consider installing a transfer switch. A transfer switch allows you to easily and safely switch between utility power and generator power. It ensures that the generator is properly isolated from the utility grid, preventing backfeeding. There are two main types of transfer switches: manual and automatic. A manual transfer switch requires you to physically switch the power source. An automatic transfer switch automatically switches to generator power when it detects a power outage. Selecting the appropriate transfer switch depends on your specific needs and budget. A licensed electrician can help you determine the best option for your situation. Additionally, it is essential to properly size the generator to meet your power needs. Overloading a generator can damage it and create a fire hazard. Calculate the total wattage of the appliances and devices you intend to power with the generator. Choose a generator with a wattage rating that exceeds this total. This will ensure that the generator can handle the load without being overloaded. Regularly inspect and maintain the generator to ensure it is in good working condition. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for maintenance, including changing the oil, cleaning the air filter, and checking the spark plugs. Proper maintenance will extend the life of the generator and ensure it operates safely and efficiently. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a serious risk when using a generator. Never operate a generator indoors or in an enclosed space. Place the generator outdoors in a well-ventilated area, away from windows, doors, and vents. Install carbon monoxide detectors in your home to alert you to the presence of this dangerous gas. Educate yourself and your family about the dangers of carbon monoxide poisoning. By taking these precautions, you can minimize the risk of carbon monoxide exposure. Store gasoline safely in approved containers. Keep gasoline away from heat, sparks, and open flames. Never refuel a generator while it is running or hot. Allow the generator to cool down completely before refueling. Use a funnel to prevent spills. Clean up any spills immediately. Properly storing gasoline is essential for preventing fires and explosions. Ground the generator properly to prevent electrical shock. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for grounding. Typically, this involves connecting a grounding wire from the generator to a grounding rod driven into the earth. Proper grounding provides a safe path for electrical current in the event of a fault. Use heavy-duty extension cords that are properly rated for the generator's output. Do not overload extension cords. Avoid using extension cords that are damaged or frayed. Inspect extension cords regularly and replace them if necessary. Using the correct extension cords is essential for preventing electrical fires and shocks. Be aware of local regulations regarding generator use. Some municipalities have restrictions on generator noise levels and operating hours. Check with your local government to ensure you are in compliance with all applicable regulations. Following local regulations is essential for avoiding fines and other penalties. Never attempt to repair a generator yourself unless you are a qualified electrician. Generator repairs should be performed by a licensed professional. Improper repairs can create a safety hazard. Always disconnect the generator from the power source before performing any maintenance or repairs. Electrical work can be dangerous, so it is always best to leave it to the professionals. Consider the noise level of the generator when choosing a model. Some generators are quieter than others. If noise is a concern, choose a generator with a low decibel rating. Be considerate of your neighbors when operating a generator. Avoid running the generator during late hours or early mornings. Regularly test the generator to ensure it is working properly. Start the generator and let it run for a few minutes each month. This will help keep the engine lubricated and prevent the generator from seizing up. Regular testing will also help you identify any potential problems before they become serious. Keep the area around the generator clear of debris. Remove any flammable materials such as leaves, grass, and paper. This will help prevent fires. A clean and clear area around the generator is essential for safety. Store the generator in a dry place when not in use. Cover the generator to protect it from the elements. This will help prevent corrosion and extend the life of the generator. Proper storage is essential for maintaining the generator's condition. Consult with a qualified electrician for any questions or concerns about connecting a generator to your home. A licensed electrician can provide expert advice and ensure that the generator is installed safely and in compliance with all applicable codes. Hiring a professional is always a good idea when dealing with electrical work. Understand the limitations of your generator. Do not expect to power your entire home with a small generator. Prioritize essential appliances and devices such as refrigerators, freezers, and medical equipment. Knowing the limitations of your generator will help you avoid overloading it. Have a plan in place for what to do in the event of a power outage. This plan should include instructions on how to safely connect and operate the generator. A well-prepared plan will help you stay safe and comfortable during a power outage. Consider the fuel source of the generator. Generators can run on gasoline, propane, or natural gas. Each fuel source has its own advantages and disadvantages. Gasoline is readily available, but it can be expensive and has a limited shelf life. Propane is cleaner burning than gasoline, but it requires a propane tank. Natural gas is the most convenient fuel source, but it requires a natural gas line. Choose the fuel source that best meets your needs. Be aware of the symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning. These symptoms include headache, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, and confusion. If you experience any of these symptoms, get to fresh air immediately and seek medical attention. Carbon monoxide poisoning can be fatal, so it is important to be aware of the symptoms and take action quickly. Consider purchasing a generator with a carbon monoxide shutoff feature. This feature will automatically shut off the generator if it detects high levels of carbon monoxide. A carbon monoxide shutoff feature can provide an extra layer of protection against this dangerous gas. Remember that generator safety is paramount. By following these guidelines, you can safely and effectively use a generator to power your home during a power outage. Prioritize safety above all else. The information provided here is for general guidance only. Always consult with a qualified electrician for any questions or concerns about connecting a generator to your home. A licensed electrician can provide expert advice and ensure that the generator is installed safely and in compliance with all applicable codes. Stay safe and be prepared. Always use the correct size breaker for the wiring. Using a breaker that is too large can cause the wires to overheat and start a fire. A 14-gauge wire is typically rated for 15 amps, a 12-gauge wire is typically rated for 20 amps, and a 10-gauge wire is typically rated for 30 amps. Always check the ampacity of the wire before installing a breaker. Do not use aluminum wiring with copper wiring. Aluminum wiring is not compatible with copper wiring and can cause corrosion and fire hazards. If you have aluminum wiring, it is best to replace it with copper wiring or use special connectors that are designed for use with aluminum wiring. Make sure all electrical connections are tight. Loose electrical connections can cause overheating and arcing, which can lead to fires. Check all electrical connections regularly and tighten them if necessary. Use a torque screwdriver to ensure that the connections are tightened to the proper torque. Do not overload electrical circuits. Overloading an electrical circuit can cause the breaker to trip and can also cause the wires to overheat and start a fire. Make sure you know the ampacity of each circuit and do not plug in more appliances than the circuit can handle. Use a circuit tester to test electrical outlets. A circuit tester can be used to check if an electrical outlet is properly wired and grounded. This can help you identify potential electrical hazards. If you find any problems with an electrical outlet, have it repaired by a qualified electrician. Use ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs in wet locations. GFCIs are designed to protect you from electrical shock in wet locations such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. GFCIs work by detecting imbalances in the electrical current and tripping the circuit if there is a ground fault. Make sure all electrical cords are in good condition. Damaged electrical cords can be a fire hazard. Inspect electrical cords regularly and replace them if they are damaged or frayed. Do not run electrical cords under rugs or furniture. Do not use extension cords as permanent wiring. Extension cords are designed for temporary use only. If you need to extend an electrical circuit, have a qualified electrician install a new outlet. Keep electrical appliances away from water. Water can conduct electricity and can cause electrical shock. Keep electrical appliances away from sinks, bathtubs, and other sources of water. If an electrical appliance falls into water, do not touch it. Turn off the power at the breaker and then remove the appliance from the water. Teach children about electrical safety. Children should be taught about the dangers of electricity and how to avoid electrical hazards. Make sure children know not to touch electrical outlets or appliances with wet hands. Have a qualified electrician inspect your home's electrical system regularly. A qualified electrician can identify potential electrical hazards and make recommendations for repairs or upgrades. Regular electrical inspections can help keep your home safe from electrical fires and shocks. When working with electricity, always turn off the power at the breaker. This will help prevent electrical shock. Use insulated tools when working with electricity. Insulated tools will help protect you from electrical shock. Wear rubber gloves when working with electricity. Rubber gloves will help insulate you from electrical shock. Do not work with electricity if you are tired or under the influence of drugs or alcohol. It is important to be alert and focused when working with electricity. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, so it is always best to leave it to the professionals. Always follow the National Electrical Code, or NEC, when working with electricity. The NEC is a set of standards for electrical wiring and equipment that is designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay up to date on the latest requirements. Adhering to these safety tips can significantly reduce the risk of electrical accidents and ensure a safer environment.